Welcome back, football fans. Some of us survived week 2, but we're here. Me and Tony already ranted for an hour on week 2 happenings, so this will probably be a much shorter episode. We didn't have Nick with us, so welcome, Nick. Welcome, Tony. We're here. Let's recap. Let's start with the games we didn't cover in our very long post-game episode. Check out the link right here. But yeah, we'll start first with just what happened Monday Night Football. Got a double header. Looks like this is a thing, apparently, since we're having it next week as well. Tony, tell us a little bit about Monday Night Football's double header that I sure as hell did not watch any of.
Let's talk about this first. How do you feel about this doubleheader thing with Monday Night Football being like a regular thing? I don't like
it at all either, because when we always thought about it, Monday Night Football is supposed to be just that one game we look forward to. Either when you're growing up, you're going to school all day and you got that Monday Night Football game, or even growing up, you're going to work all day and you got that game. Now that they have two games, it sort of takes away from it.
I feel the same way, man. I feel the same way.
I think it would have been better if you would have had a better option for one of the games.
I mean, maybe that's what they're going for. They've had over the recent years where we have, like, they schedule it. It's supposed to be two good teams, but once we get to like week 12, week 13, one of those teams is garbage.
How did
so
they
maybe they're trying to put those two
good?
games so they hopefully have one good game.
I always thought it was just like a week 1 thing, and it was like, yep, this is your season kickoff. You get 2 Monday Night Football games, and then the rest of the year you're good. And like I'm in week 2, and I'm watching this Saints Panthers game, and it's dog ass, like Billings says. Like let's not hide. It is straight up dog ass. Like halfway through the game, I'm scrolling Twitter, and then I'm like, Bryce Young isn't even playing anymore. What happened? And you're like, Billings is sending us messages like, oh, it's your first September casualty. Have you learned nothing watching this league? And then all of a sudden Bryce Young comes back, and then Bryce Young comes back in that game. Not like it made the game any much better. It still was dog ass. And then I'm like getting to halftime of that game, and then all of a sudden it's like Steelers Browns is kicking off on this next channel, and I'm like, okay, I guess I have to go to that game. And that was another dog ass game too. Like my takeaway from Steelers Browns is like, holy crap, maybe I crowned Kenny Pickett way too early for some hot preseason action, but Browns defense is pretty solid, man. Browns defense is good. That is what I will give them. Browns defense good. Niners defense was good. So maybe Kenny Pickett hasn't had the easiest start to that, but
no.
It's definitely looking like I was a little too eager to crown Kenny Pickett, though, man. I will have to say that. That's my main takeaway from that.
Yeah, he should have a much favorable matchup in the passing game this week, which we'll get into on our next episode.
Yeah.
He's definitely gonna have some pass rush issues this week, and like that's really the only thing the Raiders have going for them is their pass rush, and some of those. I mean, pretty much actually just their pass rush.
Yeah, exactly.
Really
if he can get it out, he's got time out there. He can hit someone.
We'll see. Like Divine Diablo's had a great season. You'll have Max Crosby in his face. We'll talk about that in Picks episode later. But another matchup we missed in our post-game episode was Sunday Night Football. We were talking while that game was going on. Nick was definitely not talking while that game was going on.
No, I was not. You guys
so
were
much as a
texting
peep.
me, and I seriously, what I do during games, I put my phone to the side because most times I'm streaming it. So, like we experienced while we were all watching the 1:00 games, you guys were spoiling everything for me. So I just had to put my phone to the side because I want to see it for myself. I don't want to see it and then have to fucking see it.
Hey,
So,
side note on that. I tried to do like a multi-screen experience, and I had one game on Paramount Plus, but it had to have been like almost a minute delay from real time. Like I'd check Twitter, and everything in that game would be ruined, so it wasn't even worth it. So I totally understand that, Nick.
Yeah, but But my takeaways for the Sunday night game, I enjoyed it. It was closer than it needed to be. It kept me on my nerves most of the fourth quarter. Every time the Dolphins seemed to pull away, they let the Patriots right back in it, even down to that last play. But it shouldn't even have came that close. I've seen all these Patriots fans all over Twitter saying that you should have let it play out. But you realize that touchdown to Hunter Henry was completely illegal. You had 4 offensive linemen 5 yards downfield. You had Hunter Henry that started off the play as a blocker, what makes him ineligible to catch a pass, catches a touchdown. But nothing. So that game shouldn't have been as close as it was. I'm happy the Dolphins finally got a run game to go with their passing game. It just opens everything up.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. My takeaway from that game, Nick, I don't care if that guy gets the first down. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Patriots were never going to win that game. McDaniel's got a winning culture there. That Dolphins team loses that game. They're 100% supposed to lose that game in years past. This year, that was one of the coolest field goal blocks I've ever seen. I hope more teams try that. And as soon as that momentum shift happened, nobody on the Dolphins hung their heads. And I was like, dude, if the Patriots made their little run, they made their comeback, and at no point towards the end of that game I was like, the Dolphins are going to win this game, man. They get the ball back, they're going to go get a field goal, they're going to win this game. The culture is different there now. In the past, I'm sure you've seen it. I was like, Patriots win that game in the past when everything wings, but that was my main takeaway. I was wrong. I thought the Patriots would win that game. I knew some shenanigans were going to go down, but very impressed by Tua. Maintain that composure, getting that ball out quick. I don't know. That was my takeaway for it. What do you got, Billings?
Coaching still matters in the NFL. Bill Belichick's still going to get some wins just by him being Bill Belichick. Me and you talked about in the post game about Pete Carroll. He probably got that win over the Lions just because he outcoached Dan Campbell. So, I mean, just ask the Jets about this in terms of the Patriots. Like, they haven't won since 2015, I believe. We'll probably talk about that further in the picks episode. So yeah, like, the Patriots aren't an easy out still. They still have Bill Belichick. Mac Jones, like, he has flashes at moments. So, like, I completely agree. Other Dolphins teams would have totally whipped this game away, and they would have started the season 1-1, and the questions would have been rolling: are the Dolphins serious contenders? And all that stuff. Is Tua a good quarterback? So yeah, like, coaching does still matter. That was my thought. So, any other thoughts on Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football? We did talk about the last 3 Monday Night Footballs have sort of been cursed. We had Nick Chubb, basically his leg caved inward. Another puke-worthy moment for myself. Yes. We had last week, Achilles injury for Aaron Rodgers, another puke-worthy moment. And then the Monday Night Football previous to that, DeMar Hamlin almost died on the field. So, best of luck to the Giants and Niners. I mean, not Giants and Niners. That's Thursday Night Football. Eagles, Bucks, Rams, Bengals.
Yes.
This upcoming week. Yay, double headers.
There's a lot of big quarterbacks in those games.
Yeah, look out, Joe Burrow. Dear God. All right, we're going to wrap it up with a little segment here that we used to do in the old days when we were once known as the Hate Watchmen. We're going to do winners and losers. Let's start with some losers first. And I'm going to start with you, Nick. Who is your loser of week 2?
My loser of week 2 is, for the second week in a row, the New York Jets fans. Because they went through the entire week with the media talking about, can Zach Wilson do this? He's been learning from Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I said it myself on the previous episode. But Zach Wilson is not the answer. And the Cowboys showed that.
Well, the Cowboys kind of showed that with Daniel Jones as well and his deal. But my loser, Kirk Cousins, man. Dude is just absolutely crushing it out there. He's playing for this jinx dog-ass team called the Minnesota Vikings that continue just this to screw this saint of a man. He's had over 700 yards, 6 touchdowns already, 1 interception. He's second in QB rating, 1 yard shy of having the longest throw of the season. Like, come on, can't catch a break. Starting 0-2, and probably also has one of the best receivers in the game right now, and is starting 0-2. So sorry, Kirk Cousins. I tried, man. I tried to do the hype, but anyways, check out Quarterback, now streaming on Netflix. Good show. Tony, who is your loser of week 2?
Anyone that took Niners 7.5 or more. That was one of the worst beats of all time I've ever seen in gambling history. Rams down 10 points and kicked a field goal with 2 seconds left. So they could go ahead and cover. That is some shenanigans. All Niners bettors, including myself, we're the losers. One of the worst beats I've ever seen. I thought it was just like a close game, and then I see that that's how they got that last field goal, and I was like, what was the point? What was the point, man?
Tony,
come on.
You know what the point was.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
You know what the point was. Sean McVay.
Touche.
I see you. Thanks, buddy.
You suck.
All right, Tony. I'm going to stay with you. Who is your winner of week 2 in the NFL?
My winner of week 2 in the NFL, I want to go ahead and say Mike McCarthy and his ability to call plays. I heard a lot of jokes that Mike McCarthy wasn't going to be able to call plays and he had forgotten about it and he wasn't going to be good, and all the bad blood that he had with Aaron Rodgers and how it went so wrong in Green Bay, and how what are the Cowboys doing getting rid of Kellen Moore? All of a sudden, Kellen Moore, he's struggling in for the Chargers, and Mike McCarthy called an amazingly beautiful game against this Jets defense that I heard was really good, and 0 turnovers from the Cowboys, went right down the field on the Jets team, scored at will. So I would say Mike McCarthy getting that play calling voodoo back. Like, he's actually still a legit play caller, and maybe all that media narrative about him not knowing what to do had something to do with that guy named Aaron Rodgers. Just throwing that out there. So that would probably be my winner for week 2.
Hey, they say time heals all wounds. Nick, who's your winner from week 2?
My winner for week 2 is Matthew Stafford. And for the simple fact that Puka is for real. And once they get Cooper Kupp back after being injured after week 4, this could help my preseason prediction of the Rams making the playoffs.
And they haven't used Cam Akers yet, right?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Like, holy shit. Look out. All right. My winner, week 2 winner, referee Alex Kemp, for telling Geno Smith to shut up. This is for America. Hey, goddamn right, man. It's about time someone acknowledges what this is all about, and it's about America. It's about us. We make this game happen. So you'd think somebody that plays for a franchise that trademarked the 12th man would know this, but America comes first, Gino. So shout out to ref Alex Kemp for saying what needed to be said. This is for America. All right. Speaking of for America, that wraps up our week 2 recap. Check us out later in some picks episodes. We'll have some other special episodes as well. I'm going to be in Miami this week with Nick, so we'll probably have some content from down there. Boys, check you out in some other episodes for the Sports Budz. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a good evening, America.
Thanks for watching the Sports Budz. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe.